Welcome forward into today's 820 episode, your new 500 seconds of resilience. This is the urgency meeting I've been calling for you to join for the past couple of years. Because urgency is not the importance thing, it's the resilience that I say we all have within us. And that's what I want to share with you again today. Another installation, another moment, or 500 of them, to talk about resilience. Today, again, you saw in the title, Memento Mori again. We'll call this part one. And you're probably saying, man, Memento Mori again, we've already said that like at least 100 times in the 820 enterprise. But yes, I'm saying that again, Memento Mori. But this time, I'm going to emphasize that for probably the next maybe 5 or 6 episodes. Because that thing about remember you must die, which is what Memento Mori means, it's better stated and better explained by Mr. Alan Watts. One of his episodes I'm going to cite and replay for you, or maybe interject as I can. The episode where he says, "You are already dead." I know that sounds kind of morbid, but and when I say Memento Mori, I'm just really restating the Stoic philosophy and perspective. And from my proposition to you from the beginning about resilience, about the beauty of and from your presence. And my request to you to focus your energy and attention and responsibility and accountability on all that you do or don't do in the now, this day, this present moment that I'm asking you to accept a new perspective on from before. And to accept the fate that you really do have to walk forward into and not retreat from, or from a date or from a fate that you think you can rewrite or alter through your own personal mental power and force. I have wanted to relay this perspective from my lower station or status or expertise on resilience. But this movement and motion and moments that I get to experience and enjoy with every day of gratitude, I want to say that up front. Not when I get to retire to the bed and for the departure into sleep, or the arrival from that slumber, in those visits when I'm sleeping in heaven with my Creator, where He, not me, reviews my fate and my fare paid on this current journey. And where the owner of this soul in this body, the soul of this soul and spirit and body and the distributed resources I have received, that creator, that owner of me, gets to call in the marks and the margins that I probably bet on and counted on as credit. Or maybe I was asking for another day pass going forward. And that's why I use these scenarios or these 820 analogies for you to consider, not for entertainment at all. I don't want to do that. This is always for education, not for you or for me, for each of us to draw out from within the education already deposited and invested and insisted in us from day one. Yes, that day one could mean our respective dates of birth. But how about this viewpoint? Yet another new perspective for you today. That day one of discovering, recovering, uncovering our awareness of that original deposit, that investment and insistence from our respective creator. That's when we start. That's when we start the education. the educare, the Latin word where education comes from. Educare, again, means to draw out from within. When you have the awareness of what you need, who you need, and not spinning around and running after your wants, and the quote-unquote who you need does not exist or wait for you outside of you. No. That companion, like that education, like that life, like this love, like this death, like this heart and heartbeat and blood, already resides within you. The daily death part is just a small part of your daily or moment-to-moment journey. As Mr. Alan Watts stated and explained beautifully, you and I are already dead. So let's get to the larger pieces of our personal puzzle journey. The living and loving parts first, and to address each moment and day with the regard and awareness we owe to it. So, without further ado, let's get to the initial clip from Mr. Watts on the "you are already dead" part. Let me start with this one.
There's a curious paradox I'd like to explore with you today. Something that might sound rather startling at first, but could entirely transform how you understand your existence. It's simply this: death is not something waiting for you in the distant future. Death has already happened to you, and it's happening right now. Most of us live as though we're immortal beings who will someday, unfortunately, encounter this unwelcome visitor called death. We see life and death as opposites, as mutually exclusive states. But what if this fundamental assumption is flawed? Look at your hand for a moment. The cells you see are not the same cells that were there a few months ago. Those cells died. The thoughts you had yesterday have died. The emotions you felt this morning have died. The person you were 10 years ago has completely died. And yet, here you are. This isn't just poetic language. It points to something profoundly liberating about the nature of our existence. Something that Eastern wisdom traditions have recognized for thousands of years, but that our Western minds often struggle to grasp. The recognition that death and life are not sequential events, but simultaneous processes like two sides of the same coin. So join me as we explore this fascinating illusion of separation between life and death, between you and me, between all of us and the universe that birthed us. It's not a journey of morbid contemplation, but one of extraordinary liberation. For when we truly understand...
All right, let's come back to this and continue this in part 2. Until then, stay present, stay current. No matter where you are in this world, remember, yes, you are already dead. However, it's still 8:20.